Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'll be talking about Love Island USA Season 8, Episode 23. Honestly, it was a lot more like random conversations than I was expecting. Like we didn't even get like a Nia and Casey conversation. I thought that was gonna happen and that didn't. But it's okay. I still have a lot of stuff to talk about. So after the Casa Amor recoupling, it's still pretty heated in the villa. Anaya is really upset. Like she's crying. She walked away from the fire pit. The girls are having to like chase her down and tell her that it's okay. She said I should have kept Carl. And then she said she wants to go home. So it's just a lot's happening. There's a lot of emotions. The girls are trying to calm her down and make sure like she doesn't go home. She's upset because Casey coupled up with another girl, but she's also upset because he basically just wrote her off in his recoupling speech. Like, he's essentially saying, like, he doesn't want to explore her anymore, doesn't want to have a conversation. Like, everything's just done. And that's like a huge switch up from before because they were together for 3 weeks and, they were in a couple where they were like having conversations and he wasn't exploring. So, I mean, that's a huge switch up. At the same time, the Costa girls are back at the fire pit laughing and saying how they're acting like they've been like married or whatever and they've only been coupled up for 3 weeks. But it's like, you guys are defending men you've known for 3 days. So what's the difference? I think Melanie in the situation was really like great though. Like she's a great friend. She was like making sure Nia was good, telling her that she shouldn't leave, telling her that Casey's not worth it to leave over. And then just like comforting her while she was upset. So I genuinely love Melanie. Like she's great. While Anaya is crying, the Casa girls and the Villa boys are talking at the fire pit about the situation. And Bryce says that he feels bad, but he knows that Casey and TT had a better connection. And at the same time, him and Anaya, Casey and Anaya, already had like a lot of issues before Casa. Then Zach is so annoying. He says, "Oh, we had a great vibe in Casa, and now we come back to this." Yeah, because y'all were disrespecting them. Like, I don't understand this whole like, oh, the girls are like ruining the recoupling. Like, what? Then Parmita's also like jumping in on this, and she's new to the villa, but she's already like doing too much. Like, next flight from Fiji. Next flight. After this, all the girls are kind of like in the makeup area, and the Casa girls and the Villa girls are kind of talking a little bit. The Villa girls try to say like there's nothing against the Casa girls, like it's mostly just that they have issues with the guy and they don't want them to get caught in the crossfire. They also bring up the fact that the Casa girls are defending the guys, but they've only known them for a little bit, whereas the Villa girls have like seen them for 3 weeks and know like they just switched up like crazy. Then Melanie and Sincere talk, and she brings up the Casa guys telling her that she deserved better and how it kind of felt like like he was embarrassing her. She also asked him about his Casa experience and like if he was kissing like girls and how many girls, how many kisses, like all that. And Sincere says he kissed one girl, I think 3 times or more, 3 times, and basically just downplays his experience. He also says, I would never throw away what we had over a girl I've known for a few days. But he was also fully exploring Amora, and like I thought there was a possibility that Amora would be going back to the villa, honestly. Then he like flips it on her and he says like he didn't understand why she ruined their like moment during the recoupling because he walked in alone and like ran to her with the rose. But it's like you kind of did that to yourself in Casa. Like what was she supposed to do? Act like she didn't see what she saw? Like I didn't get it. Then Bryce explains his Casa experience and how he didn't really do anything in Casa because he was thinking about Trinity. Like he didn't kiss anyone outside of a challenge. He didn't really explore, and that was his experience. He also says that he was crushed when he saw the photo of Trinity and Corey in the photo booth. And Trinity tries to basically explain her connection with Corey and how she was exploring him. She says that she did have a connection with Corey in the beginning, but she couldn't force herself to explore because she was still thinking about Bryce, which is true. Um, and then I don't know if it was like a closed off conversation, like it kind of sounded like it because Bryce didn't do anything in Casa, and he says like he said he wanted to get back to Trinity, and then Trinity in this conversation said that she's done exploring. Like she said, it's only Bryce. So to me, that sounds like a closed off conversation. I don't know though. They didn't say the words. Then Casey and TT talk, and Casey says this is the first time he's picking himself. I'm sure, Casey. Then TT says that they're Romeo and Juliet, and I'm like, okay, whatever you got to say to make yourself feel better. Because next vote, you're out of there. Casey also says that he gained a lot of respect for her because she stood up for him and had his back. And I'm like, yeah, she did. Because he wasn't saying anything. He should have stood up for himself. No backbone. He was hiding behind her. Then Kata and Zach talk, and Zach tells Kata about his Casa experience. He says that he kissed, what is her name? Alana 3 times, and says that they were like sharing a bed, which, whatever. And Kata's pretty upset about this because she didn't like the cuddling and kissing, which I think he did downplay it during the recoupling. Like, he said that he didn't explore and it took him to the fourth day to explore or whatever, and that's not true at all. He did downplay it, so I would understand why Kata would be. I honestly would understand why Kata was upset in general. Yeah. Then Zach also says, once Kata's mad, he says, but we're not actually together. Kata, please. He says so much like absurd things, and Kata would just like gloss over it. But Kata, I want better for you. Like, please couple up with someone new. Finally, Anaya is sleeping in soul ties because she's upset and she's crying and like sobbing a lot. And I genuinely feel so bad for her because I do think that she was expecting Casey to come back, like, not recoupled. But even if he did come back recoupled, like, maybe there would still be like a chance for them to talk or whatever. But he fully just like said, like, I'm with TT, like, we have a better connection, no more Naya. So I understand why she's upset. Then when they're getting ready for bed, Melanie tells TT that there's no like beef with the Casa girls. And then TT apologizes to Trinity for calling her a little girl. Trinity accepts it, says it's okay. And she said that their issues just with the guys. Then TT tells Melanie about what Sincere did in Casa, and Melanie gets upset. Like, she was mad at Sincere. When they go to bed, Zach and Kata are together again, and Zach tells Kata that he loves her. I want Zach out of this villa. Because honestly, now that he said that, I'm like worried that Kata won't even recouple ever. Like, they might be closed off very soon. And I like Kata. I don't want to vote her out, but if she's with Zach, I might have to. Like, I might have to. Then in the morning, Anaya talks to Sincere and Zach just about how she was feeling bad. Anaya says that she felt like Casey never actually cared about her because that's how he made it feel. Zach says that's not true. Anaya says that she felt embarrassed and disrespected, which, again, she's entitled to feel. Then Sincere is like hyping Anaya up when he was the main one telling Casey, like, oh, I've never seen you so happy. Also, Zach said I love you, right? He later tells Kata that he was just joking. So I don't know if he was, if he wasn't, if she thinks that he was, but it happened. So, okay, let me talk about Melanie and Sincere now. So Melanie and Sincere talk because she found out from TT that Sincere was like kissing and cuddling Amora during Casa, and just like he downplayed how their connection actually was. She also says that she's mad because Sincere will say something or do something disrespectful, and then he'll like say like, "Oh, I know I was wrong. Like, I regret it. My bad." Instead of just not doing it in the first place. So she's upset because she has to basically like just deal with the fact that he's gonna disrespect her, and then him coming back and saying like, "Oh, my bad. Like, I was wrong." Sincere tries to explain his like role, I guess. I don't know. He said, I have to respect those as your boundaries, and I haven't done that. But I'm like, what? Like, if your end goal is to reach a monogamous relationship, is that not everyone's boundaries? To like be respectful, not do all the kissing and cuddling outside of challenges, like be honest. Like, what boundaries? I honestly don't get it though, because like I do feel bad for Melanie in a sense, because like I wouldn't blame Melanie because Sincere is the one who's in the wrong, but at the same time it's like she knows he's disrespecting her and she's still with him. So like, how much more do you have to see at this point for you to just end it? Also, Sincere's always trying to flip something on someone. Like, he says at the end of the conversation, oh, it's always Sincere's the one who messed up, but she was exploring too. But she wasn't doing it in that way though. Like the way Sincere was exploring was very different from how Melanie was exploring. Like in the beginning of Casa, she was still thinking about Sincere and she wasn't doing a lot outside of the challenges. But Sincere, as soon as he got into Casa, was looking for a connection. As soon as he got into Casa. And then once Melanie saw the photo of Amora and Sincere kissing, that's when she started exploring Corey. So it's just very like different. Like Sincere will acknowledge his wrongdoings and then be mad at Melanie or Soul or whoever for being mad at him. Like, make it make sense. Anyways, after his conversation with Melanie, Sincere talks to Zach, and Zach is always trying to have input in someone else's connection. Like, worry about your own. But Zach says that, oh, I feel like she ruined a nice moment between you two at the recoupling. Like, again, I don't understand where this is coming from because he was blatantly, like, disrespecting her in Casa. So she's supposed to just forget that and, like, accept him back with open arms. I don't get it. Then Sincere says, oh, I had to immerse myself and give the girl I'm exploring my 100%. Which, again, I don't understand that concept either. But I guess. Okay, now I'm going to talk about Anaya and Casey. There's not a lot to talk about with them. But Anaya tells TT that there's nothing against her, that she's trying to squash the beef, I guess, which there's not really any beef. But she does tell TT that she's going to talk to Casey, and basically like give him a piece of her mind. We don't get to see that though, so I don't know why that was even brought up in this episode. Then Casey talks to Corbin and Sincere, and Corbin tells Casey about Carl because the Casa boys brought up Carl to Casey. Carl is the Casa guy that Nia was talking to. Um, but the Casa boys told Corbin and some other guys that Nia was like kissing him and cuddling him in bed every night, but she wasn't even doing that. Also, even if she did, it would not top what Casey was doing in Casa. Like it really wouldn't. Casey's trying to use this as an example that him and Anaya did the same thing in Casa, and so she shouldn't be mad. But Casey was not doing that in Casa. Casey was doing too much. Finally, we have the Megan the Stallion challenge, and I love Megan, so I'm so glad that she's back. Kinsey did the splits as soon as Megan walked in the makeup room, which is the one time I think is a reasonable time to do the splits. But it's a little fun challenge at first, and then we get into the drama challenge, which isn't even a lot of drama, but it's there. So the boys go first, and they have to throw a cake at someone that they want to, I guess. So Gal goes first, and he threw a cake at Melanie because she didn't choose Corey, and that was his Casa bestie. Nothing serious, just a fun little jab, so nothing serious. Then Zach chose Trinity as a joke because of his connection with Bryce. Then Caleb chooses Parmita for switching up on him in Casa. I don't know if Parmita was actually mad at this. She seemed a little bit mad, but I don't know if it was serious. Then Dylan chose Anaya because she didn't choose Carl. Again, not that crazy. Then Bryce chose Kata for Paradise Cove. Then Sincere chose Jen for being a fly on the wall and getting involved in people's couples. I don't understand this. Jen didn't like this. I just didn't understand it because I don't even think, like, I don't even see conversations with Jen, so I don't know why he chose her for that. Then Casey chose Trinity, then missed. Casey said that he would have caked every girl if he could because of the recoupling and them calling him out. But Trinity says obviously she's gonna defend Anaya, which as she should. She said that he had a lot of opportunities to explore in the villa, and the only reason he explored in Casa is because Anaya wasn't there, so there was no consequences. Which, again, I've been saying this. Like, I agree. I think that's exactly why Casey did that. Then Megan Thee Stallion jumps in and she says, "Do you feel like you could have explored less disrespectfully?" Casey said, "How am I disrespectful?" Megan said, "Did you forget what you did in Casa?" Like, yes, thank you, Megan, for doing that. Call him out again. Casey thought he was about to have his moment, and he did not have that. Then finally, Corbin chose Kinsey because of what she said during the Casa recoupling. Valid, I guess, because who else was he going to choose? Again, I think Kinsey was valid in calling him out. However, as soon as he chooses her, he apologizes for embarrassing her and then admits he was wrong. So, like, no backbone. No backbone whatsoever. Then it's the girls' turn to do the same thing to the guys. And Jaden chooses Gall for not stepping it up with Jin, which I don't know why she did that because Jaden isn't Casa Girl, so she doesn't even know Jin. But I mean, sure. Then Kata chooses Casey for Anaya. Then Jin chooses Corbin for disrespecting Kenzie, her best friend. Then Parmita chooses Corbin because she says she doesn't play. And if he does her dirty, she's not playing. So, period. It was shocking from her from last episode, her defending him at the recoupling, but sure, yeah, I respect it. Then Trey chooses Bryce for fun. Then Kenzie chooses Corbin for disrespecting her. Not surprising. Then Chi chooses Sincere for being toxic and Two Face, and I'm gonna give her that one thing. Give her that one thing. I think Sincere was mad because he didn't like the Two Face comment, but if he's not Two Face, then who is? Then Melanie chooses Corbin, but she also aims for Casey a little bit, which I loved that, as she should. Then finally, Anaya chooses Casey. She says that she felt disrespected and put to the side. And Casey said, I understand where she's coming from. And I'm honestly surprised that he didn't defend himself because he's been saying defending himself every chance he can. Um, but I'm glad he did it. Finally, America's vote is revealed, and Carl and Amora are back in the villa. Anaya was really happy to see Carl, but I am curious to see how Carl reacts because Anaya didn't choose him, so I don't know if they're just gonna jump back into exploring or if he's gonna do something else. I hope that he will explore Anaya because I need Anaya to find someone. I thought her and Carl were really cute together. Um, Anaya also did say that she was regretting it and she was missing him, so maybe that will count for something. Hopefully, I think Anaya just needs to like step it up. Like if she wants to be with Carl, like step it up, step the game up. I do love the drama though, so I'm glad Amora is back in the villa because I need her to shake something up. Like Melanie and Sincere, shake it up. Okay, that's all I have for today's episode. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for my other videos.